Alternative power stations like the Bluetti EB3A have become ubiquitous in outdoor and camping use. And I must admit, I was pretty blown away when I reviewed the little EB3A as to just how powerful and versatile it was. Well, the guys at Bluetti have reached out to me. They've got a brand new product coming out. They want me to have a look at it. It's called the EB3A. Let's unpack it, compare it with the 55, and then give it its own trials and tribulations while I take it out on site with me on a 2-day job and see how it handles backing up all my power needs. Guys, if you like this kind of video, don't forget hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up. There's plenty more content like this and more on timthompson.ag. Let's get into the review of the EB3A. Okay, unpacking time. Instructions. Oh, isn't that cute? And you get some cables. And that's it. Now, Houston, we seem to have our first problem. I got a photovoltaic charging cable in the box with the EB3A, but no wall socket. According to the instructions, you're supposed to get a wall socket plug, and the photovoltaic cable is supposed to be an optional extra. I don't have a solar panel. Just as well, I've got the charger from the old EB3A, so I'll whack that into this. Hopefully it'll work, and we'll be able to try out the little EB3A. Just be really careful when you order one of these things that you ensure that you're going to get a wall charger, because I think that's the number one thing that should come with this product. Now, I will point out that the new charging cable doesn't come with this massive transformer box that the old EB3A model does, and so it should pack down a lot smaller. And also, the EB3A has a massive advantage over the past model in that it charges much faster. It's got a 300 watt capacity, and that means that this little box was ready to go in about half an hour. So lining them up, we can see that the EB3A is slightly smaller than the EB3A, but not by much. Now with the EB3A, let's just refresh our memory. We had the 12 volt outputs here, we had the two 240 volt outputs here, we had 4 USB outputs and a USB-C output. We also get a display telling us how much battery life we've got left, how much we're using at the time, what the charging rate is. We come over to the 3A, and now we've got our 12 volt battery outputs, no difference there. This time we've slimmed down the offer a little bit to 2 USB ports and 1 USB-C port, and we've also got only one 240 volt output, a circuit protector that obviously will blow if you overload it. You've got your input there for the wall charger we didn't get, and you've got an input here for a 12 volt charger from your vehicle, which is an optional extra, or the supplied photovoltaic cable that we got in the box. You've also got, with the EB3A, you've got a battery level. That's how it came supplied, with 66%. You've got an output and an input monitor, so you can see if you're ahead or behind if you're running a solar panel or something like that. Over on the right hand corner here, we've also got our little light. Now the EB3A also had a light, but that is on the back here, and probably a little bit less practical, more of your sort of standard room light. And I always found this one hard to turn off. Anyway, let's stop talking about the 55 now. We've compared it. Let's have a look at the 3A. Let's get this thing charged up. Let's stick it in the ute and put it through its on-site 2-day torture test. Now, I actually have quite a few power needs when I'm out on site. This particular trip, I was driving a couple of hours north to do some filming of a trial vineyard installation, and as a result, I needed to charge my drill batteries, I needed to charge my camera batteries, and I needed to charge my drone batteries. And of course we get thirsty when we work, so the little Bluetti also had to keep the car fridge running and keep refreshments cool for the end of the job. So the display's gone to sleep, but we've got the car fridge running out of this one. We've got the drone batteries charging through this port here, and you can see the little lights here, meaning they're charging. We've got the drill battery charging for tomorrow, and we've got camera battery on charge, all out of this little guy. Let's see how she holds up for 2 days out in the field without being recharged. Well, the conditions started out quite cool and drizzly, but it heated up to around about an 18-degree day, and we had plenty of work to keep us amused, and by the end of it we were quite thirsty and ready to see if the little Bluetti could handle these conditions and keep the drinks cool. It was a packed day with fascinating work. I got to work with a local contractor, some students and land managers, exploring different end assembly and post options in vineyards that don't require any arsenic. By the end of that work, we were pretty thirsty. Well, we've had basically a full day on the tools out in the paddock and I'm getting a bit thirsty. Let's go and see if the Bluetti has done the job and kept the beers cool. I'm keen to see what Al thinks. Being a New Zealander, he's got lots of opinions on beers and he won't be afraid to share them. Well, I'd call that a serious win for the Bluetti. It not only charged up my batteries and my equipment during the shoot on the day, but it also kept the beers cool. Now I know why the New Zealanders refer to these things as chili bins, eh? It's pretty cold. There's about 38% battery left. I reckon if you teamed this little guy up with one of the solar panels that you can get with it, it would make a fantastic little workmate and it would keep most of your tools running. I really didn't miss the extra 240 volt outlet or the extra USB outlets. 2 and 1 is probably enough for in the paddock when you're on the tools anyway, because let's face it, you're not watching TV. If you're looking to keep your tools humming during the day and maybe keeping a beverage or two cold for the end of the day, this is a fantastic little piece of kit. Have a look at Bluetti. She's a ripper. And I've got Al, the contractor, over here. He looks like a thirsty man. Let's see if the Bluetti has passed the cold beer test.
And I'm a Kiwi, I'll tell you.
There you go, mate. Cheers.
Dirty. Yep, all the best.
Here's to Bluetti, mate. Here's to Bluetti, it worked.
Yeah, thank you.